Hello and welcome to a feature history special episode. You might be well aware at this point the game Assassin's Creed Origins is here. Or you might have not been, but now you are. The game is set in ancient Egypt, the land of gods, pyramids, mummies, sand, you know all that faff. However, you may not be so acquainted with the characters and struggles of the era. That's why the people at Ubisoft have asked me to give you, the dearest viewer, a cohesive 101 course on the history behind Assassin's Creed Origins. With the game taking place in the demise of Egypt, we have to go back to Egypt's revolution in 331 BC to understand it a little bit better. The campaigns and conquests of the Macedonian general, Alexander the Great, carved a new and stronger connection between the east and west. He dominated the land of pharaohs and established a soon-to-be great city and centre of Egypt at the mouth of the Nile, and he named it Alexandria, just like he did 70 other cities. With his passing, his generals broke up his empire, and Egypt was to be claimed by Ptolemy I, who, styling himself as pharaoh, began the Ptolemaic dynasty. As centuries passed, the fearsome Roman Republic grew and grew. By 60 BC, there was only a sparse few Mediterranean shores that eluded Rome, one being Egypt. Egypt, however, heavily relied on Rome for trade, and therefore was subject to its influence. Their only mercy was that Roman politics was mostly indifferent to them. Under the reign of Ptolemy XII, the father of both Cleopatra VII and the creatively named Ptolemy XIII, Egypt encountered many troubles. The pharaoh wished to appease the Romans, to establish a beneficial patron-client relationship between the two states, leading to the Egyptian people of Alexandria rising up beneath their Greek king, and sending him packing. The pharaoh would be exiled to Rome in 58 BC, and in Rome he'd take on heavy debts to raise a much-needed army for his return to the throne. It was when he used that army his daughter, Cleopatra, witnessed the grand power of Rome. Ptolemy XII had restored himself to the throne, but he was aging, and Egypt now indebted to, and partially occupied by, Rome. Upon his death, he left Egypt to be co-ruled by Cleopatra and her younger brother, and husband, Ptolemy XIII. Both of these practices weren't too uncommon in Ptolemaic Egypt. Cleopatra was quite unlike her female predecessors. She was ambitious, and even more so cunning, and she certainly was not too eager to be subservient to her 10-year-old co-monarch. This would cause relations between the two to deteriorate, and Pothinus, Ptolemy's regent, would turn him and the people of Alexandria against his sister and have her banished. The coup would see Cleopatra flee to Palestine, as Ptolemy took on sole rulership. However, in Assassin's Creed Origins, the boy was just the new pawn of the highly secretive, mysterious, and more importantly influential Order of the Ancients. Around the same time, there was a civil war in Rome as well. There actually had been for a very, very long time. The powerful general, Julius Caesar, strived for more power, combating his rival Pompey to get it. He'd expel the man and force Pompey to flee to Egypt for refuge. Upon his arrival, Ptolemy, looking to please Rome just as his father did, had Pompey beheaded. This actually had the reverse effect and disgusted Caesar, who was now drawn to Egypt. Publicly brought to Egypt to collect its debt to Rome, Caesar more so saw this as an opportunity to tap into the city of Alexandria's influence and take Egypt for Rome. Caesar moved into the palace and with little resistance humiliated and discredited Ptolemy. This new power struggle caught the interest of Cleopatra, as she knew the potential of having Roman allies. She'd have herself smuggled into Caesar's quarters, and in her ever-elaborate fashion revealed to the dictator. Using her charm and her cunning, she'd make a friend in Caesar. Well, actually, a bit more than a friend. With Ptolemy attempting to resist Roman force, Cleopatra looking to restore her position on the throne, and Caesar seeking to bring Egypt into the fold of his empire, a unique and compelling power struggle had formed in the land of the pyramids. In the game, you play Dyck, the last of the Magi, and with all this conspiracy and mystery whizzing about, I'm sure you can find something to entertain and indulge in inside of Assassin's Creed Origins, coming October 27th, which will be today if I got this video out right. I promised Ubisoft and they'd be real mad if I didn't. Anyways, go play it. Or don't. That's the beautiful world of free choice we live in. But you know, you could be cool and check it out in the link in the description below. Ta-ta now.